Today I'm excited to share some of our most popular single-serving dessert recipes. All of these recipes are quick, easy, and delicious and are perfect for any time you're craving a little something sweet. So let's get started. The first recipe I'm going to make is a small batch of brownies. This easy recipe delivers rich, chewy, chocolatey brownies that can be ready in minutes. Here's what you need. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Lightly butter a small baking dish. Stir together 4 tablespoons of butter that we've melted and 1/2 cup of sugar in a medium-sized mixing bowl. Stir in 1 large egg and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. In a separate small bowl, whisk together 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1/8 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Pour the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients and stir to combine. Fold in 2 tablespoons of chopped pecans or walnuts. If you don't want to use nuts, just leave them out. Pour the brownie batter into the baking dish and bake for 20 to 25 minutes. Let cool for 10 minutes. Slice and enjoy. Recipe number 2, key lime pie. All the flavors you love in a key lime pie can be found in this key lime pie for one. It's smooth and creamy with the perfect balance of tart and sweet. Baked in a ramekin or small baking dish, this pie has a smooth and creamy filling that sits on a buttery graham cracker crust. Here's what you need. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Place 2 sheets of graham crackers in a Ziploc bag. Seal and roll with a rolling pin or a heavy can to crush. This yields about 1/4 cup of crushed graham crackers. Pour the cookie crumbs into a small bowl and stir in 1 tablespoon of butter that we've melted. Pour the crumbs into a 10-ounce ramekin. Using your fingers or the back of a spoon, press the crumbs gently so they form a crust on the bottom. Bake the crust for 15 minutes. Remove from the oven and set aside to cool. Now let's make the filling. Mix 2 large egg yolks and 2½ tablespoons of lime juice in a small mixing bowl. Save the egg whites to use in other egg white recipes. The link to egg white recipes are in the description below. Add 1/4 cup of sweetened condensed milk and whisk until smooth and thick. Pour the mixture into the crust and bake for 15 minutes. Remove from the oven, allow to cool for about 20 minutes, then refrigerate for at least 1 hour. When you're ready, take it out of the refrigerator and enjoy. Recipe number 3, deep dish chocolate chip cookie for one. This is the best chocolate chip cookie recipe. Buttery, crisp edges and a warm, gooey center. This deep dish cookie can be baked in a ramekin and eaten with a spoon, or it can even be baked on a cookie sheet. It's just so easy to make. Here's what you need. Heat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Mix together 2 tablespoons of softened butter, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar in a small mixing bowl. So why do we use softened butter in this recipe? The softened butter, when mixed with the sugars, help to create air pockets, and the air pockets are what makes cookies light and airy. Softened butter should still be cool to the touch, but when you press your finger into the butter, your finger will leave an indentation. Next, we'll add an egg yolk and 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract and continue mixing until well combined. Add in 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/8 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt to the bowl and mix until just combined. Fold in 1/4 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and 2 tablespoons of chopped pecans or walnuts. Pour the cookie dough into a buttered 10-ounce ramekin or spoon the cookie dough onto a cookie sheet. Bake for 22 to 25 minutes or until the top is golden and the edge of the cookie is set. Enjoy as is or top it with your favorite ice cream, which is totally decadent. Recipe number 4, no-bake cheesecake. You won't find an easier cheesecake recipe than this one. This single serving no-bake cheesecake comes complete with a buttery graham cracker crust. It's creamy, it's delicious, and it's so easy to make. Best of all, it's the perfect amount for one person to enjoy. Here's what you need. Place 2 sheets of graham crackers in a Ziploc bag, seal and roll with a rolling pin or heavy can to crush. This yields about 1/4 cup of crushed graham crackers. Pour the cookie crumbs into a small bowl and stir in 1 tablespoon of butter melted. Spoon the crumbs into a dessert dish and press down with a spoon. In a separate bowl, mix together 2 ounces of softened cream cheese. Just leave the cream cheese out on your kitchen counter for about 30 minutes and it should be soft enough. 2 tablespoons of sugar, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and set the bowl aside. Pour 4 ounces or 1/2 cup of heavy cream into a mixing bowl and whip until stiff peaks form. This takes me about a minute. Fold the whipped cream into the cream cheese mixture. Spoon over the graham cracker crust, and although you can eat it right away, I recommend refrigerating it for about an hour or 2 for a firmer consistency. No-bake cheesecakes are a little softer than traditional cheesecakes. They're more like a mousse, but absolutely delicious and so easy too. Recipe number 5, Mini S'mores Dip. This mini s'mores dip is easy to make with chocolate chips and toasted marshmallows. Use graham crackers or fresh fruit for delicious dipping. It's the perfect amount for anyone cooking for one. Here's what you need. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Place 1/2 cup of chocolate pieces or chips in a 10-ounce ramekin. Arrange 8 large marshmallows on top of the chocolate and place the ramekin on a baking sheet. Place in the oven and bake until the marshmallows are golden browned and the chocolate has melted, about 8 to 10 minutes. This dip is best enjoyed immediately because the chocolate and marshmallows will start to harden as they cool. If you'd like to save some for later, cover and store in the refrigerator for up to a week. Reheat the dip in the oven. So there you have it, 5 decadent single-serving desserts that are super easy to make. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow, like, and subscribe to our channel, and check out our other recipe videos. At One Dish Kitchen, cooking for one is all we do. Bye for now.